2K Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with a broadcast from Washington, the home of the Wizards, the Verizon Center. Well, it was the Golden State Warriors winning their last game against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. Setting the floor for the Warriors. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. Thompson is the 2 with Barnes at the 3, and it's Curry in at the 1. And it's the Warriors' ball. They went to Washington for their last meeting with the Wizards, and they came out with a win.
And the last time they faced this club, rebounding was their big advantage.
Clearly, that was the overriding factor. A double-digit advantage on the boards. They just pounded them inside.
Early on last year, it was clear Steph Curry was just on another level. Was an MVP candidate right from the start of the season, and he would eventually be voted that award.
And I thought very deserving. You could see how he elevated his play, and so many of us, and so much talk focuses on what he does offensively. But he was ahead of the snake of a terrific defensive group for Golden State a season ago, and that's one reason why he ended up being the MVP.
And that's a foul called on Kelly Oubre. That is his first foul of the game. Golden State's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Curry attacking. Bogut kicks to Green. Back to Bogut. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Goes back up. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a three-point play.
And with Curry winning his first NBA MVP award, he played the fewest minutes by an MVP in league history, mostly because his team was up by so much, he got to sit a number of fourth quarters.
Tries again. Oubre pulls it in. On defense, the Warriors. It's a three-point game. Wall attacking. Back to Gortat. It's stolen by Green. That's good from Barnes on the assist by Thompson.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
And with Curry and the MVP, there was some pressure with Hart. Relatively close voting, but Curry was the clear winner. Hard to argue with the season he had, leading his team to 67 wins last year.
He kicks it to Thompson. Back to Curry. It's off his leg. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. From the inbound, and it's good on the way in. Curry's got 7 points.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. And Wall kicks to Porter, and he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish. and the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the stripe.
Just over 2.5 minutes played here so far in the first quarter. The drive by Bogut. Fires for three. Curry with another miss.
Yeah, but the defense was determined not to give him an inch of free space.
Well, nobody really knew, Greg, what to make of Washington going into last year's playoffs. They came out strong. Look at that.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. And here we go. And it's Green missing.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
The Wizards with another miss. Warriors leading by 5. No one near Curry as he lets it go. No good from outside.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
They grab their own miss. Beal. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
And the thing about Bradley Beal, when he suits up, the entire lineup becomes exponentially more potent. A quick, powerful athlete, Greg, high basketball IQ, had the great teaching at Florida, carries it to the NBA. Opponents have to account for him, I think, on both ends of the floor.
And that's a great point, Kevin. I mean, coming out of college, a lot of people compared him to Ray Allen. I mean, he possesses that next level smoothness and body control that's often indicative of a true difference maker. That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
It's off his foot, and it's being called a kickball. Gary Neal's checked in for Beal.
Kid, you ready? Gary, let's go.
1:46 left here in the opening quarter. Nene into the lane, uses both hands to slam it down.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And, Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long. Great job to hit his teammate on that move, Kevin.
Warriors leading by 3.
And, going back to Bradley Beal, the bottom line is he's a winner. Last year, the Wizards went 8-9 with Beal out of the lineup. Hard to argue with those facts and numbers.
1:15 left to play in the first. Green kicks to Rush. And the call will be against Drew Gooden.
And when you talk about Bradley Beal, it's not just having him in the lineup that matters. It's having him at his best. When he's at 100% health, there are very few guards in the league who can keep up with him. Truly one of the game's great young talents.
Temple dishes to Nene. Sessions passes to Temple. Right wing, beyond the arc. The shot is off. And Golden State will go the other way with it.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
Oh, and a fast break for the Wizards. Rush with the steal. And now running up the court, Rush pushing it all the way. It's deflected, and they'll keep possession. Wizards trail by 3. And stolen by Spates. 14 feet away. Rush's shot is off. Here's Temple. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Livingston kicks to Rush. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
And he beats the buzzer to end the quarter.
And a chance to hear from Bradley Beal. He came from a football family in St. Louis, but...
She definitely put the ball in my hand. She's the one who taught me my form. I followed through.
Maybe some other NBA players Should be practicing with Bradley Beal's mom because she has definitely honed something special into him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I'm not sure some of the more delicate NBA egos could handle her trash talking them when she beats them in a game of horse. Bradley's not only got a special J, but he's got a pretty good disposition, too.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Warriors.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
The great pair of Wall and Beal are at the guard spots. Nene and Gortat team up in the paint, and it's Porter in at the 3, the small forward. That's the 5 on the 4 for the Wizards. And Washington making a change here. Oubre is checked in. Stolen by Thompson. Inside, here's Curry. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. 9 points for Steph Curry.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
A nice bounce back year for Harrison Barnes, Clark, in year 3. Moved into the starting lineup last year and really responded.
Yeah, he did. I think he benefited from the new system. He was miscast as an isolation scorer, but when he can spot up for threes and catch the ball on the move, that's his game.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
It's Wall with the drive. It's hauled in by Bogut. Bogut's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Here's Iguodala. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. And it's a 10-point Warrior lead.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Harrison Barnes, very athletic. He certainly passes the eye test. And with his size, he can punish smaller wings and create mismatches. And then also he can play some small ball power forward at times as well with the way they like to space the floor.
Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for the Warriors. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Thompson against Wall. They need this. And the layup is good.
And you talk about Harrison Barnes overall. He had a nice uptick in his rebounding last year. And that was a goal of his. He wanted to get his activity level up. And oftentimes the difference between being good and great is just making those small incremental improvements in different facets of your game.
Got a piece of it. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry.
And with the moment, let's check out some stats for Thompson. He's been a factor for them over the last month, averaging 22 points per, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Solid numbers, the kind of production we expect. And frankly, I think he's got another level to take it to.
Yeah, he definitely has the skill set to put up even bigger numbers. It wouldn't be a surprise to see that in the coming days. He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Dishes it to Beal. Over to the wing. They get a hand on it and stolen by Barnes. Here's Curry. Barbosa for 3. It's good. And he makes his first shot of the game.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot. And it's really paid off for them during the run.
And the thing, Greg, about Marcin Gortat, he's not a high flyer. He's not a super flexible athlete. But he's one of the best centers in the league because he's tough. And he's worked hard on developing his skills. And he always hustles.
Yeah, and he fights for position down low. A terrific screener, does a lot of that dirty work. And he's also very good at passing the basketball. You know, a lot more skilled, particularly in the pick and roll, than maybe people give him credit for. He can hurt a defense in a surprising number of ways.
Wizards trail by 10. The kick out to Wall. Barnes grabs the miss.
How about him there just bodying him up to make him alter the trajectory on that shot?
Definitely some very sound defense played on that trip.
And now Beal pushing it up, and no one back to stop him.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Talking about Gortat, he was a late second-round draft choice in 2005. His first 4 years in the league, highly underwhelming. Now, over the last 4 years, he's averaged around 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game. Those are good numbers.
And that's some inspiration. Steals, blocks, and a big dunk. Those are ways that you can really change the momentum in a game.
Well, they got to chip away, Clark, at that deficit, and no doubt that'll help.
And that's what he's out there for, guys. I mean, he is an electrifying player, no doubt.
And Washington going with the whole new group here. Golden State also making some changes. Spates checked in for Bogut. Rush comes in for Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Leandro Barbosa.
And getting back to Marcin Gortat, his dad was a successful light heavyweight boxer in Poland. So clearly you see where the toughness comes from. And Marcin's mom was on the Polish national team in volleyball. So you know where the blocking and ball skills come from. I guess we'd have to call him a chip off the old blocks.
Steph Curry does so many things well, Clark, on the floor, but one area he had struggled with was turning the ball over.
Yeah, and after a slow start, Kevin, to the year in the turnover department, Curry was able to slowly right the ship. Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Launches a three, count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut to just 7 on the basket from Temple.
And Curry and his turnovers last year, a lot of it might have been getting used to a new system, but you can see he's also tightened up his play to reduce the giveaways.
Here's Neal. Green with the rebound. The Warriors have gone 6 of 13 so far from the field here in the second quarter. Let's go. That one wide left.
Right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone. And, you know, Curry knew turnovers were a problem. How about his mom even instituted a fine on him? And so anytime he has more than 3 in a game, he owes his mom $100 per turnover.
Here's Temple. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up. Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
And Sessions kicks to Gooden. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Shrugs off the contact and dunks it. He'll go to the free throw line.
And, folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Andre Iguodala. He's checked in for Golden State. Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Neal.
They've been getting it inside at every opportunity and getting results, too.
Yeah, that's a winning formula as far as I'm concerned. They've been the aggressors and far more assertive on the offensive end.
And the first half is now in the books. Warriors lead by...
Thank you, Kevin. Andre, what has been the underlying principle of how you and the team have taken the floor tonight?
Communication. Communication doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but in order for us to be a good team, everyone has...
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal. Golden State found themselves in a close game in the first. Some nice stretches of basketball from them, and at one point, they pushed the lead up to 7. Taking a look at the Warriors, Kenny, what'd you think?
Well, their passing was impressive. They're in a good position to win this game, in large part because of those assists. And this is the thing. You win it.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We will see you later.
And now Well, the start of the second half, neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. One guy who's been getting it done so far, Stephen Curry.
And really, all of a sudden, he's becoming their best distributor, doing a great job of orchestrating their offense.
Greg, typically that's not the role he usually plays, and I'm not sure how comfortable he is in it, but they've needed him to make some plays today, and he's been able to do it to his credit.
And on the floor for Steve Kerr as we get into the second half. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Thompson. They're in the backcourt. The defensive stalwarts, Green and Bogut, are down low. And it's Barnes in at the 3 slot. Here's Wall, and there's the feed to Gortat. Second shot opportunity. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
The Wizards have shot 75% at the line tonight, going 3 for 4. Well, I think all 3 of us agree John Wall, a tremendous all-around player.
Outstanding. Speed was what jumped out at me most when I saw him first at Kentucky. Now he's been able to harness that speed as a pro, and he makes plays that very few can make as a point guard.
He gives you a lot of different looks, doesn't he?
He sure does.
Barnes, blanketed by the D, he fights to the rim for the layup. Barnes has got 8 points.
Not a good idea to let him get such good position in the paint.
It's more than a bad idea. It's real trouble. I mean, he'll make that 10 out of 10 times.
Wall attacking. Count it, and the Warrior lead has been cut down now to just 4 points at the basket from Porter.
And guys, John Wall, obviously one of the most electrifying players to enter the league in some time. Unreal body control, tremendous length and athleticism for a point guard. And that's one of the reasons he gets so many steals, blocks, and rebounds. All these extra things from his position that really add up.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the 2-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Washington calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
And, you know, guys, for Wall, the one thing he's still ironing out is his shooting stroke. It looks better every year, but doesn't necessarily go in more often, especially from 3. But even if he never becomes a great shooter, I think he'll remain one of the game's best all-around talents.
Stolen by Thompson. And here we go with Thompson running it up the court. Shot is off. Now Washington takes it the other way. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
You know, but they were able to hang in there for most of that game. But at the end, you know, when it matters most in terms of what I call winning time, they just could not make the plays on either end of the floor.
Yeah, I like that term, winning time. But as you said, they didn't get run over, but just couldn't convert when they needed to in the end.
Wall attacking. No good.
And nothing fancy, really, about that play. That's just good, old-fashioned, hard-nosed basketball to get that one.
And the dunk by Barnes.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give them 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And, guys, there was a time where people wondered if John Wall could be a team leader. Well, that question has been answered and then some. Unquestioned leader of the Wizards.
Leandro Barbosa. He's checked in for Curry. Well, and for Wall, Greg, and leading the Wizards, it did take some time. Now he does so much, Clark, for the franchise.
On and off the floor. He's really the face of that franchise and has a chance, in my mind, to be an MVP.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia. Oh, and here comes Wall all alone. A huge slam, the perfect end of the fast break.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Washington making some changes. Nene, he's checked in for Gortat. Gooden comes in for Oubre. And Garrett Temple subbed in for Beal. And the Warriors also making a change. Iguodala's checked in. Wall attacking. The Warriors pull it in.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts. I hope he didn't hurt his neck because that was one nasty, nasty head fake.
Well, the defender bought that move, hook, line, and sinker.
The whole thing. He may have given him a little pat on the back as he went sailing by.
Here's Temple, and the pass to Gooden. And now, in transition, here we go. Iguodala.
And unfortunately, we've seen a few too many of those. A lack of concentration and alertness, a turnover, and an easy bucket the other way in transition.
And really, a few more of those, and this game could be over.
And that one's good by Porter.
Well, as for them being behind in this game, you certainly can't put any of it on his shoulders. He's been tremendous offensively.
And Bogut slams it in.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risks to see if they can cut that lead down. Up high and down hard with the one-hander.
Got a little extra forceful with that one, didn't he? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think that's going to rouse up his teammates, no doubt.
Well, you know, last season, Steve Kerr came into a good situation, but a touch awkward. The team wasn't 100% on board with the firing of the previous coach, but he won them over in a hurry.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here. Greg, Steve Kerr did win over the locker room in a hurry last season. They had finished a successful run under Mark Jackson. Winning accelerates everything. They certainly bought into it.
They really did. And people don't often appreciate how difficult it is to come into a situation where expectations are that high. But he also went out of his way to empower his players and really give them some accountability. Didn't try to hide anyone on defense and played to the strengths of his team on the offensive end. The mechanics totally out of whack right now. He's lost his feel for the shot.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, just totally out of sync. I mean, you can just see it in the numbers. Nothing going down for him right now.
Here's Temple. And it's Iguodala with the rebound. Warriors leading by 11. Here's Rush. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Livingston. Livingston's got 3 assists now in this one. Washington's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Oubre dishes to Temple. Kicks to Nene. Nice ball movement by Washington. No one covering.
As long as they keep spraying them from deep, we're going to have ourselves one exciting finish.
Yeah, it took them a while, but now they're starting to get into a flow from outside. And boy, is that timely.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. The defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense.
Oubre. Oh, and he misses the dunk. The Warriors shooting it up around 51%. They're getting good looks. And the basket good. 8 points for Iguodala.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Oubre passes to Sessions. He feeds it to Gooden. 4 seconds left. It's tipped. Got a hand on it, but they recover it.
Ladies and gentlemen, rise and sound, give it up for your Wizards.
And we're getting underway here in the 4th quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Wizards trail by 14. Nene and Gortat team up in the paint. Bradley Beal and Otto Porter Jr. are the wingmen. And it's Temple in at the point. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington.
And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
Curry can't get it to go.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Well, we've seen him before. He does not allow you to just get easy baskets. He's always going to make you work for it.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Spates kicks to Curry. Shot's good. And the Warriors lead by 12.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Feeds to Temple. Green with the block. 1 minute now into this fourth quarter. It's Curry outside. Rebound by the Wizards. Gortat's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Warriors leading by 12. Curry kicks to Rush. Takes it from 10. The kick out to Spates. Curry outside. And the shot is good. Curry's got 21.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, Kevin. Randy Whitman was just going over the plan with his team. He was not at all satisfied with their effort levels, saying, "We're losing the hustle plays and all the 50-50 balls. We simply can't win that way. We've got to get after it." Let's see how they respond, Kevin.
And Rush kicks to Green. Snatched away. And now Porter pushing it up. No one back to stop him. Wall, that's good.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
And Curry, here we go. It's blocked. Here's Beal. Pass to Neal. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That one is on Rush.
They're locked in from the charity stripe this half. Not a miss yet.
And trying to cut into this lead, they need every edge they can get. And, you know, the new court projection visuals, all the rage in the NBA now. Instead of having to use a screen over the court, they just project video and images straight onto the court. I think before long, you'll see it everywhere.
The Warriors making a switch here. Barbosa's checked in. 3-on-3, and there's the call on Marcin Gortat. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Inside, here's Bogut, and there's a nice one-handed slam.
Tacks a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
Ah, that's bringing it down hard.
Yes,
Bring it down hard,
yes,
my brother.
Yes,
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight.
Beal dishes to Porter. Gortat against Green. There's Porter with the 3. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%. 5 for 7. Those court projections you see in the pregame, we don't even have the best angle for them. They're so good.
Yeah, nice perk for those sitting a little higher up on those or those watching TV. It's about putting on a show and at the end of the day, entertaining the fans.
And there's the call on Klay Thompson. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
Oh, man, it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
Wizards making a switch here. Oubre's checked in.
Well, nothing was going down for him in the first half, but since the break, he's been on target.
Here's Green. That's tipped. They recover it.
You know, Curry is playing extremely well. He's got 21 points, and he's drained 3 3-point bombs so far.
Don't stop. Don't hesitate. Keep firing from out there when the shot's falling like this.
Good on the 2nd free throw. Otto Porter, hailing from a family of basketball players. His mom, All-State in '85. His 3 uncles won state titles. Deep basketball roots.
And how about the fact several of his cousins also won state championships, although Otto is the only one in the family to reach the NBA.
Here's Oubre. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. Oubre's got 4 points now in the quarter. Warriors leading by 8. Curry attacking. Low block shot on the way. And so it looks like the Warriors will retain possession here. Here's Curry. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Wall. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
And that's his 4th, and no doubt he would have liked to have not gotten it this soon.
A clear look for Curry. Another miss by Curry.
You know, getting back to Otto Porter's basketball family, it really prepped him to compete. Your family is the first place you learn to navigate and win battles in competition. And that goes for sports and life.
Outside, Wall. They get a hand on it, so it's Golden State again turning it over.
Hey, guys, just a little too nonchalant there. That's a couple turnovers here in the last few minutes, and those miscues can spell trouble.
And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Warriors.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively, and they've been turning those turnovers into points.
Timeout called the Warriors. They're ahead by 8. 1:43 left to play here in the fourth. .143 left in the fourth quarter.
And talking about Porter, he certainly has worked hard to improve upon his weaknesses. That's a trait that's often instilled in a man at a young age. And he's not an explosive athlete, but his motor and want to compensate for that.
Curry against Wall. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Another three for Golden State.
He didn't have a single point in the first half. Bagel, 0 points, nada. But he's starting to get into the groove here in the second.
There's a screen by Gorton. That's good, and the Warrior lead is cut to just 9 on the basket from John Wall.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
Thompson with the bucket.
And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for the Warriors.
Right, Steve, and they're fully in control now, but there were some tense moments, I thought, Clark, for them throughout this game.
No opportunity really to coast, although the score may appear that they did. I love the way they came together whenever things started to look bleak.
And on the year now, tonight's impending victory will push their win total to 47.
And they've taken control of the season series. This brings them to 2-0 with 1 game left against this squad.
And believe you me, they'll be gunning for the sweep in that third meeting.
And a great team effort, but still, what an individual performance for Curry. A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash over.
Great hustle to turn the block shot into a fast break hoop. That's a big-time play.
Guys, they can just sit on the ball here if they want to.
Sure can, because they've earned the win.
And that's playing into the hands of the defense right there.
No way you can sneak that shot by him, Greg. I mean, he was all on top of that one.
Oubre, good.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air.
Timeout is charged to Washington.
Washington calls timeout. They're behind by 7. Just 4 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
And as a coach, that's the kind of turnover that drives you nuts.
And, Greg, there's no reason for that turnover to happen. It's just inexcusable.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And no good is the first free throw, missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. That's good, going 1 of 2 from the line, and that stretches their lead to 8. Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. They're down by 8. 1 second left in the fourth quarter. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, they can game plan all they want, but unless they can put more time on the clock, I think this bad boy's over.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what they hope to get accomplished with this timeout here.
So we see the Warriors get the win here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crush.
Yes, Kevin, thank you.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's present our Jordan player of the game, Stephen Curry. He made all the key plays every step of the way. They depend on him to deliver these sorts of performances, and he helped carry his team tonight.
I will say this about Steph Curry. There is no player in the league more capable of single-handedly taking over a ball game.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From
get rich. You don't really want it. You ain't really trying to get rich. Nah, you don't really want it. Now you don't want that late night gas with no break, like crash in the daylight. I see it in your face. You don't want that blood, sweat, tears in a bunk bed. Peers know they upset. That Lambo in your gate. Nah, you can't take a loss like that. Off that. Wasn't really forced to shop at Ross like that. Don't know how it feel to can't afford like that. Off deck.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited.
HBK, yeah, you know how we. And I can't quit. All I know is HBK, yeah, you know how we. And I can't quit. All I know is. Wherever I go, my homies come to. I love my squad. We up in this thing. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad.
Fans, get out of your seat and let's play it.
It's time for some hoops at the Chesapeake Energy Arena, home of the Thunder here in downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And we're going to bring it to you live on 2K Sports. Thunder making a quick stop here in front of their home crowd of Oklahoma City, just one game before heading back out on the road. They've really been on a roll. They've gone 5-1 in their last 6 games.
And you know, for the Thunder, every NBA season, there's always going to be some big surprises in store. And I think this season, they'd have to be considered one of the biggest of them all.
Yeah, they sure are. I mean, you don't find many experts who are willing to predict anywhere near this level of success for them prior to the season.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So the Bulls 5 right now. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. And it's McDermott in at the 3 spot.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
Here's Rose. Dion Waiters making his last shot. And it's Butler missing. 11 feet away. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. One of the most dominant players in 2014 is Kevin Durant, of course, winning the league MVP. Then last year, cut short. We know that he's now on a mission to get back to that level. And Greg, it's hard.
Yeah, you know, it all came down to health for Kevin Durant. And at this point in his career, I mean, he's got the maturity. He's developed the skill set. He's just got to stay on the court. And really, when you talk about the game of basketball, the rest will take care of itself.
And the foul called on Pau Gasol.
Pau Gasol. That's his first personal foul.
Stolen by Rose.
You know what? That passing lane wasn't open for long. He closed it down in a heartbeat there to get the steal. And that's how you take the steal and turn it into a transition opportunity.
I think that's the perfect time to do it, Greg. I mean, those few seconds after the turnover, strike right away because the defense has no chance to get organized.
Ibaka, no luck.
You know, talking about Durant as he looks to recapture the league MVP, he can take his cue from last year's MVP, Stephen Curry. Curry battled through numerous ankle injuries over the years earlier on, only to come out on the other side with his best season ever in 2K15.
And Adams with the slam.
Nice pass. He got the ball right into his teammate's shooting pocket, on time and on target.
The Bulls have gotten 4 of 6 field goal attempts to drop in the first quarter. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Drills it from outside. Butler's got 5 now.
And getting back to Durant, sometimes adversity brings out the best in you. Adversity challenges you to rise above. And Kevin was already at the highest rung on the ladder. I think his opponent should be very afraid of what they're about to witness this season.
For the finish.
Oh! That is just nasty about the athleticism on that finish. Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. Pass to McDermott. And it's blocked by Adams. And now a fast break for the Thunder. Waiters leading the charge. And he gets it to go.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Outside Rose. And we're approaching about 3.5 minutes played in the first quarter. Good as the jump shot falls.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
And you saw how quick the defense was. They were ready for him. They got the hand in the face there and made that much more difficult.
Yeah, and every team needs that kind of rugged interior defense because you want to try to distract your opponents when they get inside, and you also want to make them uncomfortable in their shot attempts.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says thank you very much and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago, coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
And I think they can hold their heads high from that performance, you know, despite the final score being what it was.
I agree with you. I mean, it was a tough game played in a tough environment on the road, and they were in it right until the bitter end, so that's good stuff.
And the Thunder going with a whole new group out there. Stolen by Cantor. The drive by Collison. He feeds it to Cantor. Singler left side. Got him with the pump fake, but couldn't finish. The Bulls leading by 6.
And Kyle Singler, basically a three-point marksman. He really lost minutes after the trade to the Thunder last season. A second-round pick by Detroit a few years back. He's always averaged over 20 minutes a game. But with the Thunder, he was kind of banished to the end of the bench, and his play reflected that.
Pushing their lead to double digits.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Intercepted. Snell dishes to Brooks. Off on the layup.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
Here's Morrow. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
Wow, risky shot there size-wise, but the incredible skill that he possesses allows that one to go.
Well, the quick high release negated any height disadvantage he had right there.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over him.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. The Thunder have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today. That's good from Singler. Taj Gibson's checked in for Chicago. Heinrich comes in for Ejuan Moore. Singler hits them both. "20 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Passes to Brooks. Here's Portis. Over to the left wing. And stolen by Payne. Collison inside, and there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. Oklahoma City shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
And comparing to the numbers of last season, they've made a bit of improvement, so that's some positive momentum they can look to build on.
Here's Heinrich. And there's... And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18 children back in New Zealand. Hard to imagine growing up in such a... family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, got him outside of himself. And toughened them up a little bit. No question about that. Wow, 18. That's mind-boggling.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Looking at what we've seen for the Bulls, what do you guys think?
Just the start they're looking for in this game. Solid offensively through the first.
Very crisp and sharp. Not much stagnation at all on offense.
So for Chicago right now, Heinrich and Rose the guards. Portis is out there with Taj Gibson. And it's Butler in at the small forward position. Butler with the steal. The three. And the shot is good. Butler's got 8 points. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for the Bulls.
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Adams checked in. The Bulls also changing it up. Pau Gasol is checked in for Portis. And it's Doug McDermott in for Kirk Heinrich. And the rejection by Ibaka. Durant the pass to Waiters. He nails it, and we're tied up.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Now Rose after Jimmy Butler missed from long range. Another shot. The kick out to Rose. No good. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Warriors.
And really lucky that they weren't blown out in that game, because I just thought the effort was lacking.
They just couldn't hit on anything that worked for them, no matter what approach they used.
Morris checked in for Chicago.
You look at Kevin Durant, and he does have a bit of an unusual body type. Steel is fairly thin, even after 8 years in the league. Yet up until last season, he'd been one of the more durable players in the league. Kind of like Reggie Miller in that regard.
Talking about Durant's physical makeup, some scouts were actually worried about his athleticism when he declared for the draft after just 1 year at Texas. At the NBA Combine, Greg, you were talking about this. He posted some of the worst numbers of all the top prospects.
He did, but I tell you what, he did blow people away with his length. 6'10", with a 7'5" arm span. I mean, that makes up for a whole lot in this league. And as we've seen throughout his Hall of Fame career, I think it's worked out pretty nice.
I think it has too. The Thunder have gone 5-6 so far from the field in the second quarter.
And guys, Dion Waiters is a man who has never met a shot he didn't like. Despite shooting less than 40% from the field last season, he just kept on shooting. Now, every once in a while, he'd get hot and it would look good. But when he's off, which was most of the time, it didn't look very good. He's got to improve shot selection and shot discipline.
Feeds it to Moore. There's the screen to the paint. Here's McDermott, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Hey, getting back to Waiters, there's a reason the Cavaliers dealt the former 4th overall pick in the draft. Not only did he shoot poorly, but Clark, he averaged less than 2 assists a game.
Yeah, I think it's a mindset adjustment with Waiters. I've loved his talent and his ability to make plays and shots. Now he just has to recalibrate his thinking so he can be effective in the role he's asked to play.
Here's Durant out to Ibaka. Oklahoma City moving it around, and he gets it to go. And that's now 11 points for Dion Waiters.
And fellas, in this quarter, he's improved on what was already a very good performance in period number 1.
And Dion Waiters traded last season to the Thunder. They wanted him as a shooting and scoring threat off the bench. Didn't want him to try and fill the void that Harden played when he was a member of the team.
Bulls making a switch here. Brooks checked in. And it's Moore penetrating. Outside Butler. Back to Moore. Dishes it to McDermott. Uncovered. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. You know, Greg, for Waiters, it would be unfair for the Thunder to ask that of anybody. You know, that's tough to do. Clark, hard to make up what Harden had accomplished.
Yeah, and the Thunder even asked Waiters not to wear number 13 to avoid any comparisons, which I think was a smart move. But they still would like to have him provide some punch in terms of points off the bench.
Now here's Brooks. Following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Tipped away. Stolen by Westbrook. On up the court. And then Durant with the dunk.
Quick hands on the steal and just mad hops on the slant.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends. It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Butler. Waiters grabs the miss.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And a new group getting ready for Oklahoma City. Nick Collison's checked in for Ibaka. Singler comes in for Kevin Durant. Anthony Morrow's checked in for Waiters. And it's Payne in for Russell Westbrook. And Chicago also making a switch. Snell's checked in.
That's a few more points onto their lead with the tomahawk.
That's bringing it down hard. Clark,
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Symbolic there as well of the effort here tonight.
Here's Snell. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. And it's good. Moore's got his second basket. Here's Payne. 9-point game. Battles through traffic and lays it in.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
All alone, throws down the breakaway jam.
Playing smart offensively in the first half, no doubt about it.
Yeah, the numbers support it. I mean, they're shooting the much better percentage from the field so far.
Now here's Brooks. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. He dishes it to Gibson, and he jams it with authority.
Major league big boy throwdown right there.
And he keeps a tight grip on that rim after the finish.
Yeah, maybe that'll give them a little bit of that swagger that they seem to have lost.
Morrow, no good.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
That's his first personal foul. Substitution on the court.
Ripped away. Here's Singler. The shot's good. Collison making the play. 6 points now in the game for Kyle Singler.
You know, no time wasted getting that ball up the floor for the uncontested finish.
You can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
Deep two from Brooks. And so that brings the first half to a close. Thunder.
Kevin, there was a point where you seemed to kick it.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And hello again. We have amped up home crowd joining us for our halftime report. Ernie Johnson with the illustrious Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Kevin Durant was on fire in the first half. He had 12 points and 1 assist. The first 2 quarters tonight looked a lot like what we saw from him in his last game. Shaq, your thoughts on the Thunder?
Well, they got a nice advantage in the free throw department. I wish I was a shooter.
And that's going to do it for now as the second half is just about to get started. Now back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game.
What a performance from Durant here. He has 12 points and also a block shot.
And we really just need to take a second to appreciate the all-around effort he's put out there today.
Well, the numbers paint the picture, and he has been what we call in my vernacular, you know where I'm going here, guys, stat sheet stuffer supreme.
Oh, supreme. So that takes it to a whole nother level when you get supreme in terms of your stat sheet.
And Kelloggese, right? And
yes.
Kelloggese. Down low, it's the international combo of Ibaka and Adams. On the perimeter, it's Waiters and Durant. And it's Westbrook in at the point guard position. That's Billy Donovan's 5 as we get going here in the second half. Waiters with the ball. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Gasol setting the pick for Butler. And that one comes up a bit short.
You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
Oh, and the jam by Rose.
It's hard to believe that he's a point guard. I mean, he can power those dunks down as well as any big man in the league.
If not better. If not better. He's a phenomenal finisher.
Enjoy seeing that kind of bounce out of that spot on the floor.
And that's some inspiration. He steals, blocks, and a big dunk. Those are ways that you can really change the momentum in a game.
Well, they got to chip away, Clark, at that deficit, and no doubt that'll help.
And that's what he's out there for, guys. I mean, he is an electrifying player, no doubt.
The Thunder leading by 14. Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Chicago calls timeout.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Now here's Rose. He's got 14. But they recover it. McDermott, no one around him. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. 7 points for Doug McDermott.
Of all the guys you want to leave open out on the perimeter, he is the absolute last guy on the list. Attention to detail. Know your personnel.
Westbrook against Rose. Westbrook drives in. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing. And right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
Chicago with the ball, following the score by Oklahoma City. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Rose, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And, you know, back to D. Rose. He grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's south side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for McDermott. Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, with the 111 first-place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. We know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history.
And Durant sends it back. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Here's Moore. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2.
Well, we all know how loud NBA arenas can get. I mean, last season there were some accusations thrown around that it wasn't all organic. I mean, some players felt as if some of the NBA crowd noise was artificial.
Enes Kanter's checked in for Adams. Portis, he's checked in for Chicago. Some heavy accusations about artificial noise being pumped in last year. We've seen the issue in the NFL, talked about now in the NBA. Seeing in other sports, there's a case that maybe the NBA's got to deal with this.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I know some stadiums, it might feel like there is extra noise being pumped in. And listen, there are a lot of fan bases that we have are just flat out loud. I mean, it can be electric, but having... Oh, wow. And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, but if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Rose attacking, and that one's good.
And he'll take it right into the teeth of the D without thinking twice about it.
The Thunder leading by 10. Durant, no good with the layup. Here's Chicago. They're on a 14-6 run. Got a piece of it. And Ibaka kicks to Westbrook. On deep. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got his 4th rebound in this one.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Misfires again, and the ball just refuses to cooperate with him. It's a tough day so far.
We know Oklahoma City has the stars, the big names, the offensive flair. But, you know, Greg, this team, and you appreciate this, is a very tough defensive group.
Yeah, I think they
can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top.
But last year, the Thunder really hung their hat on their defense. Top 10 in opponents' field goal percentage.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Kyle Singler comes in for Kevin Durant. And Anthony Morrow subbed in for Dion Waiters. The Bulls also changing it up. Tony Snell's checked in for Jimmy Butler. Heinrich comes in for Ejuan Moore. And Brooks subbed in for Rose.
Cutting into that lead a little bit. Way to finish.
And the basket is still shaking.
Oh, I mean, he has got power in bunches on that two-hand.
Singler dishes to Ibaka. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Heinrich kicks to Gasol. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for. He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
Pass to Westbrook. There's 21 seconds left to play in the third. They recover it. Goes back up. He squares up and sinks it. Westbrook's got 6.
And he could be the guy to put this game out of reach.
Stolen. That's a 2 from Snell. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And as we end the third quarter... And we're rolling here again with the fourth quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. Bulls trail by 12. On the court for the Bulls, getting this fourth quarter started. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Butler and McDermott filling out the perimeter. And it's Brooks in at the 1 spot. And then Waiters with the jam.
Well, now they've lost the starch in their shirt, guys. They're demoralized. A careless play to turn it over and then slow to get back on defense. Lethargic.
It looks like their legs are gone at this point. I mean, I don't think a comeback bid is in the offing.
Durant, no good.
Right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
Steven Adams, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And the Bulls making a change also. Ejuan Moore, he's checked in for Brooks. They double him with Payne. No good from Moore. The Thunder leading by 14. Durant, no good.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. Moore with the steal. And now the fast break. Gibson with the ball. Nice shot by McDermott. Thunder have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. And Durant, here we go, uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Thunder lead by 11.
He's got some serious momentum going right now. He's been great all day. Even last game, he was on fire.
That doesn't go either for Butler.
And he made sure not to just draw the foul. That was good defense out on the perimeter.
Very good. He's a thinking man's defender. Knows how to bother even the best shooters without being overly aggressive. Not too much congestion in the lane. I think he could have gotten a better shot that time, no question.
And good on the basket. Book it. And that's now 18 points for Kevin Durant.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
Bulls trail by 15. Outside Butler. And the Bulls with another miss.
Kevin, he's missing shot after shot after shot from long range. With time running low, he'd be better off trying something else.
And the big lead becomes bigger. They are playing with purpose here tonight, guys.
And they're doing it at both ends of the floor. I mean, that's what you like to see. They've been controlling the action from both ends of the court.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in cracking this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Moore outside. Kicks to Gibson. They need this. Thunder with the rebound.
Yeah, the offense seems completely in disarray.
Exactly. But at the other end, it's one bucket after the other. This run is getting out of hand right now.
Here's Payne. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. And the Thunder lead by 21.
They just can't miss. Everything they put up, it seems, goes in.
You know, sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield. They are certainly the bugs tonight. Nothing going their way.
And I'm not even sure that I'd want to be the windshield.
No, maybe the windshield wiper.
Yeah, right.
Serge Ibaka has checked in for the Thunder. Westbrook comes in for Payne. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Thunder.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
Yeah, but they've also done a great job of playing in space, getting out in transition every opportunity. You got to be kidding me. I mean, that's a point guard playing like a power forward.
And he can do a little bit of everything out there.
Yeah, he torches defenders in all kinds of ways. When he's on the floor, he's a matchup headache.
Oh, tight defense being played right there. Got right up on him and forced the miss.
Textbook work. Close enough to bother the shot. Good challenge, but disciplined enough to avoid too much contact.
Butler with the ball, and it's Waiters picking him up. Launches it, and it's Butler missing.
Wow, what a rough second half for him shooting the basketball. Maybe you adopt a pass-first mentality at this point.
Here's Waiters, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 7th assist in the game. Butler against Waiters. Looking to get back on track here. And that one hits back iron.
And boy, has he been struggling big time here in the quarter.
Yeah, he's played tight. I mean, you can see it. No flow at all to his game right now.
Here's Butler, and it's good from the elbow.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Thunder.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance, Clark. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And this will push their record to 39 wins in a good effort tonight.
And it looks like they're going to spare themselves the embarrassment of being swept in the season series by winning this last one.
Yeah, you know what? And that may not seem big, but it's huge. There's a big difference between dropping 2 out of 3 as opposed to getting blank 3-zip.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Kevin Durant. He was everywhere defensively, offensively. The effort we saw from him tonight, I think, was the difference.
And it's Rose penetrating. In the corner, it's McDermott. And Waiters kicks to Westbrook. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Taj Gibson picks one up.
And for Russell Westbrook, a heroic effort last season, but not necessarily an efficient one. He averaged 28 points a game, which led the league, but shot a 5-year low of 43% to get those points. And he led the league in turnover average, but that's also because he's got such a high volume usage now with all the injuries.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And it's blocked by Ibaka. Here's Portis. Tries yet again, and he sinks the layup.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
And the Thunder with the possession here. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. And here's Morrow outside. It's hauled in by the Bulls. It's stolen by Ibaka. And it's Westbrook missing. 3-pointers, Snell off target. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
Yeah, they were the superior team in every department, in every category to me, Kevin. I know their fans loved it and appreciated it.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by.